Hello and welcome. Today I want to talk about 4 EDC bag brands that I recommend to people looking to collect or buy their first EDC pouch. These brands have been in the market for some time and I've used them throughout the years. Some of them are more recent than others, but I do have a variety of different configurations for each pouch. They all have a specific purpose and they might suit your needs. So I thought I'd go ahead and show 4 EDC pouches that I have here on the table. We'll start with the left to right. We have the Sac Double Admin Pouch here. This is an American-made brand of EDC pouch. In the center, we have the Vanquest FTIM 6x9 Generation 2, my favorite pouch out of the bunch. On the top right here, we have the Maxpedition EDC pouch. And then on the bottom, we have the latest iteration of the Roaring Fire Pico EDC pouch. So let's go ahead and talk about each one of these pouches here. So let's start with the Sac Double Admin Pouch. So this is a wax canvas pouch here. I got this from Sac a few months back. I did a review on it already. And the reason why I like this and recommend this brand is that, number one, it's made in America. All the components are made in America, or at least most of the components that I could find on their website. It's wax canvas, so it has this nice rustic look, and in my opinion, I do like this color and the arrangement of moly webbing on the outside here. It's got the cool logo here in the front. It's got some really good zippers on the side, which run very smooth with the bag, so it's got a premium feel. And on the back, we also have the Moly Pals webbing, along with 2 straps here to attach to your gear, and 2 D-ring parts here to hang if you want, or attach to your gear. Again, a lot of mounting options, and I'm a big fan of mounting options. Now it does look very tactical, which I don't particularly go after personally, but it just happens to come with the pouch. So if that's not your thing, they do have an all leather version of this, and these are very pricey, but the trade-off is you are buying American and you're buying quality. So I would say that's the main thing about this pouch, is that you're getting quality for the price. Now on the inside, I just use this as a desktop organizer, so it's a little bit mashed up, but as we can kind of see here in the center, we have a row of webbing here on the top and 2 main pockets here in the front, which I store a variety of different tools and things like that, things that I would have normally lying around on my desktop. And then on the other side, it's pretty much the same thing. I have some batteries here in the center that I don't keep in any of the pockets because I'm kind of messy that way. But we do have some other random items up here. We have some Leathermans, we have a UV light, I have another regular light, the Skill Hunt. And we do have pockets here again, and the webbing, as you can tell, where everything is situated inside the pouch. And that is pretty much the entire organizational part of the pouch. And the reason why I recommend this pouch is that it's very straightforward, it's not complicated, and the zippers are very robust and strong, and it looks and feels, and it is also water resistant. So this pouch does work very well as an EDC pouch if you need something slightly larger and longer and rectangular for your items. So this is just an example of how you can pack out the pouch. You can put it to your own specifications, but this is why I like the Sac, and why I would recommend it is because it's got high quality materials primarily, and it's also American made, which is a thing I'm trying to get more into. So that is the Sac Double Admin Pouch. And once again, a fairly nice and robust EDC pouch. Next up, we'll do the Maxpedition here. And the Maxpedition is a very common name in the EDC world. They've been out for many years now, and I have a lot of their pouches. And this one I've modified for my own specifications. I've loosely wrapped paracord around the handle here. I've got my own little climbing carabiner in here just so I can attach my belt and quickly detach the pouch from my belt. Instead of doing the moly strips here, I just went ahead with a hanging, dangling type of pouch carrying method, which is kind of some of the ways I carry my pouches sometimes when I'm at work. So as we can see on the front here, we have our hook and loop field. We have our mesh pocket, which I do house a small amount of hand sanitizer. That's what that little bottle is there in the front, and a small Algae boo-boo kit. So I have access to it if I want to on the outside. Although with this particular setup, I have to unzip it to get to it, but I digress. On the back, we do have the Molly Pals webbing. We have box stitching here and a handle to grab stuff, which I usually put my paracord on in most of my kits, as you will notice. And the zipper is also a YKK zipper with these paracord pulls, and they do run very smooth, and they do fit and track very well with the fully packed pouch, like this pouch here. So on the inside, I just have a few items. I'm not going to go over every pouch, but this is why I like it. It's because it has a very basic organizational method, not as intense or as deep in thought compared to, say, a Vanquest product, but very affordable for one, two, very robust, and three, good quality materials. This is made in Taiwan, and we have a dual set of webbing channels here on each side, similar to each other. This is a little bit bigger on the right side, a little bit small on the left side here, but underneath this first webbing row, there's two other webbings underneath it, and same thing with this, where you can store extra stuff, which I have. Looks like a mess, but everything's got a method to the madness here in my kits, so it's packed for my specifications. But we'll go over some items we have here. Lighter, Gerber dime, we have a small headlamp, IPX4 rated, micro USB rechargeable. We have a Victorinox signature light here. We have a nail clipper for cutting some of the zip ties if we want to, lip balm, an Olight i3T, or i3E rather, and another Olight. This is a mini pill light that's rechargeable, USB-C. And behind all this webbing here, along all this organization, we do have other pockets that house other things, like my notepad in there, and underneath here I do have a couple more items underneath here as well, like cordage and other items like a Mylar space blanket, for example. So why I recommend this Maxpedition EDC pouch, that's what it is, it's called the EDC pouch. I got it on sale off Amazon for about, I think, $18 at the time, a few months back. So I decided to jump on it. It's a good price for this. Nowadays, it goes for much more, I think like $24. Still a decent buy if you're looking to get into the EDC game. Maxpedition is a household name, basically, at this point, and they do make good quality products. So this is an example of one I would recommend to anybody looking for an EDC pouch. And again, I use this one daily for work, and I carry it on my hip. Normally I would put a S-binder carabiner on these two parts here to keep the zippers from opening, but since I access this quite a lot in my daily routine, I just keep it like that, and it works fairly decently. So that's the Maxpedition EDC pouch, a really nice first time EDC pouch I would recommend to someone. Next up is the Roar and Fire Pico Fire EDC pouch. This is the second version that they have. The first version has a different arrangement of credit card holders inside the pouch, whereas this one does not. And I would recommend this for anybody looking for a smaller type of pouch that's more easily, not necessarily pocketable, but you can probably put it in a coat pocket or something and carry it on you without having to hang it off your belt like the Maxpedition, or come up with a different carrying method like the nutsack one. So this one has several different pockets on the outside, and we have one here and one here in the front, some MOLLE attachment, rather hook and loop field on the front here. No MOLLE on this one, but we do have a little tab that can hang from your belt if you want to. I personally wouldn't use the tab on here because eventually, after some time, this will pull out the stitching and probably maybe not hold up as well. But that being said, this is made in China, so it's unfortunate that it's not made in Taiwan or in America, but that is the price you pay for this type of pouch. This pouch, again, is about $20-something on the main website. Roaring Fire is the company. The Pico Fire 2nd Gen is what this one is, so, or the upgraded one, if you will. I like the zippers. They're YKK. They have these little pulley tabs on it, and you can access each of the pockets fairly easily. In the outside, I keep a little ouchie boo boo kit here in the front. In the back, I do keep an extra amount of more medicinal items and an extra bag for collecting water. So we have the inside here, which is a little bit different in terms of organizational method. Now, someone had asked if I could put credit cards in these strips. You can put some, but not all is the answer. So this is not really designed for credit card uses. So I wouldn't recommend it. I recommend the original personally. But this is the inside. It's fairly straightforward. Unlike the other one, it had a vertical row of credit cards here. I use that for my wallet currently, actually. So I have another project, which I won't show in the video here, but I've talked about it many times. This one is nice in that it's just straight up EDC pouch completely. The way I configured it, we have a light here, we have my 11 square P4, a lighter, and another Victorinox knife here, a signature light. Again, I'm a big fan of the signature lights. So we have rows of webbing here, and then a secondary row underneath, and same thing with here. And then we also have this pocket in the back that runs the gamut of the pouch, much like the Maxpedition that we saw. It has pockets that run the gamut of it, except for this one has it in a horizontal fashion, and on this side, this one has a zippered pouch, so it can contain any loose items that you might have you want to keep in your EDC pouch, which I particularly like with this second iteration of the Roaring Fire Pico Fire personally. That being said, this is a fantastic pouch for anyone who's looking for a more minimalistic approach to EDC and just carrying the bare necessities of what they might need. This one's not configured as a survival kit, much like my other kits that I usually use. I am outdoors usually for my job, so I typically have them fashioned in a backup survival kit fashion. So it functions as an EDC kit and a secondary survival kit, if you will. This kit I've configured for more of an urban use, although I do have some items in for survival and whatnot as well. But this is the Roaring Fire Pico Fire upgraded pouch, as they call it, or the second generation. Once again, it's a fantastic little clamshell opening pouch, which I also like that almost all these pouches open up into a clamshell with the exception of the nutsack, so you can access the items fairly easily. What's nice about the Roaring Fire Pico Fire brand, and why I recommend it, is that their initial ones, like the ones that hold the credit cards, after you pack them up like this, they tend to compact down after some time of use, and it gets smaller. So it's kind of hard to explain, but once you've had one of these and kept it for a while, it tends to compact down. This one I noticed does it a little bit, but not as much as the original one, and this is slightly bigger than the first generation or the first iteration of the Roaring Fire Pico Fire pouch. And I do recommend this because it's small, portable. It focuses on the essentials that you would carry with you, and that's why we recommend it for anybody who's looking to get a more inexpensive, smaller pouch. Now these go for about $21 on the website, so take that with a grain of salt. I can't find them anywhere else, so you would have to get on the main website. And that's all I have to say about the Roaring Fire Pico Fire pouch, the second generation. I saved my favorite for the last because I tend to talk about this one the most. And this one is a very big EDC pouch. I use this as a sling pouch usually, or inside a bag of its own. I've had this one for a number of years, the most out of all of them. And Vanquest is probably my favorite pouch company, right up there with Nutsack and Maxpedition. So on the front we do have a hook and loop feel, which I've attached my American flag pouch to. This is a unique pouch in that it opens in a different fashion compared to the others, which is more like a book or more like a purse kind of opening. This one is a different type of opening, which we'll show in a moment. But as I said in the front, we have the hook and loop field up here. We have a slip pouch here, which I tend to put my medical and my toilet paper supplies and other items inside the front where I can access it easily, like hand sanitizer, for example. So I'm not going to open up the whole entire pouch, but I do have it in the front pouch here. On the side, we do have some Molle Pals webbing, which I do put my full tang knife in the side here on this side. And then on this side, I do have a flashlight pen combo here, so I can access the light pretty easily, or a writing device. And then on the back, we have some Pals Molle webbing with straps here that contain my sling strap, which I use. And I use it in a different fashion than I normally would with a traditional strap. So this makes carrying this very convenient, and oftentimes in the summer or the hot weather times when I don't have enough pocket space, I'll just carry this bag and maybe my wallet and phone, and that will be all I need. So this is the one pouch I would carry. On the top, I do have some more paracord on the handle here, and we have these YKK zippers with their Vanquest proprietary Spartan pulls, which are big enough to fit your fingers through even with most gloves. So it fits pretty well, and this is the bottom side. So a very straightforward pouch. What I like about these pouches is that they're designed to be teared down or open with one-handed operations. The way I have this set up, I don't necessarily have it for that, but there's a tab here, and this tab has Velcro, and on the back there's a little piece of Velcro that you can attach this to, and you can rip it apart, open it up, and it opens up into a wide format like this. I don't know if you can see that all on the camera. I think you can. So we have a immediate access to a number of different items in the front here and on the side, which is why I like this pouch and why it's my favorite, because it fits my methods and my preferences for an EDC pouch. Now, what do I have in here? I have a whole bunch of items. I'm not going to go through everything, but this is why I would recommend this pouch, is because it opens in this fashion where you can access almost everything pretty easily with one-hand operations, meaning you can turn this into a medical bag if you wanted to. I happen to use it as an EDC bag because everything's so conveniently in front, and I can just close it up and go about my business really quick. So, getting into it, I do have some lip balm in the front here. I have a small glass cleaner microfiber lens type of material up here, a little cloth in a plastic bag. I have some charging cables from my VX1R in here, my ham radio. I do have some sugar and fruit in case I need to eat something quick. I do have more charging cables here. Underneath here I have another webbing strap. So this is like 2 rows of webbing right here in the front, and on the bottom side I do have some fire tinder and a flint wheel to start fires. I have my Nightcore NU17 headlamp here, micro rechargeable headlamp. My Leatherman Sidekick, I believe this one is the Sidekick version here. I used to have a Reb. This is the Sidekick in here for the saw. And then underneath here I have my birthday candles and stormproof matches, along with a whistle and reflecting mirror here. This is an SOL whistle, and I put some mirrors on here from a small do-it-yourself project. So I have a small reflecting mirror, not the best, but it does get the job done. I have a sewing kit here, some cordage here at various lengths and sizes of types of cordage. So I have lots of cordage here. I have a lighter as well, wrapped with hemp wick cord for another wick. I have adapters, I have pins, sewing needles, I have paper clips here, more charging cables, a filter, and I do have my ferro rod up here. Then on the side here I do have my 14500/AA battery light. This is the Lumentop Tool 2.0, one of the best EDC lights out there. I have some more ties here, and underneath here underneath all this webbing, there's 2 rows of webbing here, webbing on the bottom here, webbing on the sides, Underneath here, there's 2 pockets. I keep a handkerchief in one of the pockets. Underneath the secondary pocket underneath here is a bigger pocket, which has a Maller space blanket, and I have an EMP resistant bag. This is nickel and copper, triple lined. So I have my ham radio in there, my solar panel in there, another backup light with charging cables in there, and that all stays within the EMP bag and a plastic Ziploc bag. So I like to build EMP resistant kits, and this is one of my conversions of this kit. And I do have some more items in the back. I have a toothbrush. I have my Wenger Esquire. This is another cutting tool, which I keep in here, a secondary one with the scissors. And then I do have another lighter, which I have been meaning to take out of the kit. This is a Zippo lighter, and it's got a Vector insert here, a butane one. So works very, very well for convenient EDC lighter for use. And I do have a couple more items here, but like I said, I'm not going to go through the whole entire kit, but I just want to show you that why this is my favorite one is that the organizational methods allow me to maximize the amount of space in the pouch in a somewhat organized manner, even though it looks very disorganized at the moment. But once again, it's to my specifications, and you might have different needs or specifications therein with the pouch, and it will offer you that option of customizing it. So that's why I recommend the Vanquest FTIM 6x9 Generation 2 pouch. And those are all the pouches that I would recommend. So I don't have too much more to say about it. I do have individual reviews on each of the pouches here, which you guys can check out. But right now, these are the pouches I'm using currently in 2023, and I'll be changing some of them based on the type of situations I come into and also environments. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your day.